frequency domain image enhancement method. We are continuing this discussion, this lecture. We have already discussed 2 more lectures on frequency domain image enhancement. Frequency domain image enhancement is a broad topic. Therefore, we could not complete in one lecture. And this is the third part of frequency domain image enhancement. We know that in frequency domain image enhancement, we compute the Fourier transform of input image and Fourier transform of filtering function, and then we can directly multiply and get a product. After taking inverse Fourier transform, we can obtain enhanced image, that is filtered image. So as we have already discussed, let me start the pointer. Yes, as we have already discussed the frequency domain filtering, but there are few more which are left, which are also implemented in frequency domain. So in this lecture, we will discuss about 1 or 2 more frequency domain image enhancement method, and an important application where we will understand how frequency domain image enhancement enhances the quality of images so that the images become very useful for that application. So this is another high frequency emphasis circuit, high frequency emphasis system. We have seen that low pass filtering, high pass filtering in frequency domain. We have discussed ideal low pass, Butterworth low pass, and Gaussian low pass. And similarly for high pass also, all the three types we have studied. And this is another method in which high frequency signal is only emphasized, along with maintaining low frequency and mean values. It means in high pass filter what happens? High frequency contents are allowed, passed, and low frequency signals are attenuated. If the filter is ideal, low frequency signal gets rejected. Otherwise, in practical low pass or practical low pass filter, the low frequency signals are attenuated. In high pass filter, high frequency signals are passed and low frequency signals are attenuated. High pass filter. In low pass, low frequency will be passed, high will be attenuated. In high pass filter, high frequency signals will be passed and low frequency signals will be attenuated. Low frequency signal will be attenuated. So how this high frequency emphasis is different from high pass filter. In high pass filter, high frequency signal is allowed, low frequency signal is rejected. Whereas in high pass emphasis system, high frequency system is emphasized. We try to predominantly highlight the high frequency content, but at the same time we do not attenuate low frequency. And mean value means the average value of intensity or grayscale values which is maintained along with low frequency component, that remains there. We do not attenuate, we do not suppress that in high frequency. So you can see here a transfer function K0 plus HUB. K0 is some minimum value, that may be possible. Here if you see the transfer function, you will find that till this cutoff distance D0, there is some minimum value that will be allowed, K0, and after crossing the cutoff distance, the gain or the magnitude of transfer function is even more than 1, which means that more emphasis is given by, because they are enhanced, magnified. So more emphasis is being given to the high frequency signal. These are the two examples where you can see that this is the input image, high frequency emphasis output. Similarly here also, what we can observe in the result is, see here, that smoothing is also not taking place, because in high pass, low pass filter smoothing takes place, and in high pass filter only the edges and high frequency content like edges, sharp boundaries, the lines are highlighted and other areas are suppressed. But it's unlike high pass filter, where we can see the high frequency contents are highlighted with good emphasis. Along with that, the low frequency signals are also, they have been maintained with some mean value, some average value. So it doesn't mean that the low frequency signal is suppressed or attenuated. They have been maintained here with some minimum low frequency signal. In the similar manner, in the second result also, the same observation can be made. Okay. So there is one more filtering method called as homomorphic filtering method. You see here, homomorphic. So in homomorphic filtering method, if you can see that the high frequency content are emphasized. You see the, the fine, thin boundaries of this structure, and similarly the boundaries of this door and the other structures. So high frequency content is emphasized in high frequency emphasis system, whereas in homomorphic, you see here this area is looking more black, and this is also looking like gray. But when you compare this image with the second image, we'll find that there has been some distribution of grayscale values in the second image, that is result image. Homomorphic means we try to distribute the grayscale values in a uniform manner whatever amount is required. So that is also a method which can be implemented in frequency domain. This is homomorphic filtering. So as I told you that we have already discussed all important methods, the main methods for frequency domain image enhancement. Two major image enhancement methods in frequency domain are implemented, are found there. They are low pass smoothing domain filter and high pass sharpening domain filter. But there are some other methods like high frequency emphasis and then homomorphic filtering, which we have discussed. Now let us discuss some method where let us find out that how this high frequency filtering or image enhancement method helps in certain application. So let us discuss one application where let us try to find out how does enhancement benefit. So this is an application where we are discussing about fingerprint matching. We know that when we see in all ordinary phone, smartphone, when you put a fingerprint, it is recorded, and whenever you again want to authenticate you as a authorized user, it again asks to match, and then based on that fingerprint biometric, it recognizes a person and authenticates. So important application related to fingerprint is a fingerprint biometric. All right, but sometimes your fingerprint quality is not good. There is a dirt on it. Your fingers are dirty. Your fingers are wet. Humidity is there. In all these cases, the quality of fingerprint image is not good. And in that case, the recognition does not take place properly. So to address that problem, image enhancement method is applied to the images which are noisy, which are of not good quality, and then they are subjected for the further operation like matching. So fingerprint matching process can be, it may be mainly decomposed into fingerprint pre-processing, extraction and feature matching. In all matching operation, in recognition operation, what do? We extract some suitable features, and based on the similarity or matching of those features, we recognize certain images. But the feature extraction becomes very difficult, and you will not be able to extract appropriate set of features when the quality of image is not good. So what do? We enhance by using some pre-processing. Then we can extract, and after extracting based on matching of figures using suitable metric, we can implement fingerprint matching. So in any fingerprint, if you look at here, when you record our fingerprint, the impression, it has two important minutiae, which are called as minutiae. They are called as termination and bifurcation. This is termination. You see here, it's getting terminated, and it's getting terminated. And here you see that bifurcation, so it's divided into two parts from that. So if you see all your fingerprint impression very carefully, you will find that there are so many terminations and bifurcations are there, which are called as minutiae. And those minutiae are called as fingerprint parameters, fingerprint features. So please understand, when the fingerprint quality is not good, when there is dirt, here, and suppose this joint is, you look at the diagram, not recognized properly, so it will not look like bifurcation, rather it may look like termination. So therefore, when we extract the features, better to use some fingerprint in image enhancement method so that image quality is improved and the features are correctly extracted. So the termination is immediately ending of ridges and valleys are the structures which are formed. Bifurcation is the point on ridge from which two branches are derived. You see here, two branches are getting derived. This structure is called as ridge, and this structure is called as valley. So you see here, what we are doing, we are taking one input image, okay, and then we are enhancing it by using a histogram equalization method. We have studied what histogram equalization is. So histogram equalization is equalizing the histogram, and you find that there has been enhancement in the grayscale values overall in the whole image, right? Whole image you can find here. So this is the output. Now see, enhancement by now, after enhancing the image, what is done? FFT is applied. Fast Fourier transform. Fast Fourier transform is applied to all discrete signal. We know that the image is a matrix, and that matrix has all discrete values in rows and columns. So those discrete values are enhanced by fast Fourier transform, which is nothing but frequency domain Fourier transform. And you see the result here, as we have noted a number of times, that in frequency domain, visual appearance improvement is not the main aim. The main aim is to make the image more suitable so that the appropriate features can be extracted for machine understanding, for computer vision. So when you again apply to this output, again histogram equalization, you will find this histogram equalization FFT. Now see here, when we apply to the output of FFT binarization. So when we apply binarization, you see here binary means two components, two type of patterns can be seen. One curves like patterns, and then there are some background. These curves are actually our ridges and valleys which are present in fingerprint. Again, it can be enhanced by histogram equalization. So these structures, patterns can be very clearly seen because of when we apply FFT, that is frequency domain filtering, we could in a better way highlight these patterns. Active binarization was applied, then adaptive binarization was applied. After applying active binarization, the improvement can be seen here. And then orientation was drawn, that what is the orientation of these curves, these lines, curvilinear patterns, and this is what we obtained, which are very useful in order to recognize a fingerprint. So active binarization, then region of interest was selected wherever we want to apply. And finally, applying thinning process. Finally, after applying thinning process, removing spikes, if there are some spikes, and then thinning process is applied, edge breaks, minutiae have been extracted very correctly. Incorrect minutiae are removed and the final minutiae has been shown. Sometimes we can find the structure maybe like H looking structure, H or similar structures which are neither appearing as terminations nor appearing as bifurcations. So such patterns are treated not as correct minutiae, and therefore those patterns need to be removed. Either we can, after applying thinning process, we can accurately get that, but even after applying we get some H-like structure, H is not the correct minutiae, because minutiae includes only two, that is termination and bifurcation. So that process takes place, and then remove the spurious, as I told you, which are incorrect spurious minutiae, they are removed, and then correct minutiae are obtained. All these, red color and then green color patterns, they are called as the correct minutiae. The correct minutiae are used, you see here one flow. We are loading the fingerprint, then we are applying histogram equalization, then it goes to FFT, binarization, direction, ROI selection. In ROI selection, because we are not interested in the entire region, so we can select selected area, then applying thinning, removing edge breaks. Edge breaks means H-like patterns, and then removing spikes, extract the appropriate minutiae, which are real minutiae, and those minutiae are saved as template of fingerprint, the true minutiae of fingerprint. So when we next time while testing, this is called as training, what we have done now, extracting the features, correcting more appropriate features, saving it means we have created template, we have created features, and we have stored in feature database or template database. While testing, the fingerprint will be again recorded, the minutiae will be extracted and will be matched against those which are stored in database. Wherever it finds similarity, the minimum distance, Euclidean distance kind of metric we can choose, and wherever the distance is minimum or below threshold value, offset value, it results that this is the person whose fingerprint is recorded, fingerprint is being tested. After this application, there is an interesting thing which is important when we discuss about that is image enhancement. We have discussed high emphasis, high frequency emphasis, homomorphic filtering, and then we also discussed one important application. And in this application, what we understood, what we have discussed is, and what we have observed is, if we do not apply appropriate image enhancement method, then the feature extraction would be difficult. And even if we extract the features, the appropriate features will not be extracted. That will cause difficulty in matching, and therefore image enhancement, especially frequency domain image enhancement, is very much needed in this application. In all applications of image processing, where matching is there, classification is there, segmentation is there, in all tasks of image processing, if the quality of image is not good, then image enhancement is necessary. Frequency domain image enhancement becomes pertinent due to the fact that computer vision operates on features extracted from the images. Computer vision understands, interprets the images based on their appropriate features. But if features are not extracted properly, then the computer vision understanding would not result appropriate conclusion. And therefore, what will happen? What will happen therefore? Fingerprint matching needs or any such application requires image enhancement method. After this, when we enhance some images, it's very important to understand how much enhancement has taken place. So in order to measure the performance of image enhancement method, there are some metrics which are very important. One of those metrics is MSE, that is mean square error, MSE, which is a cumulative square distance between reference image and resulting image. It is computed pixel by pixel by adding up the square distances. Therefore, it is cumulative of all the pixels and dividing by total pixel count. If you look at here, 1 by m, pi minus qi is the C. The square differences, sum of all square differences and taking a mean. So therefore, it is called as mean square error. When we want to check whether the image with its result is same or different, we can use this metric. Next very important parameter is PSNR, picture signal to noise ratio or PIC signal to noise ratio. This is the ratio of reference image and the enhanced image. This indicates if the quality of image is good, PSNR is supposed to be expected to be high. If PSNR is high, it means the quality of image is better. Higher is the value of PSNR, better is the quality. PSNR also indicates measure of peak value, and when we have MSE and R, that is the maximum input data type range, we can calculate the PSNR by using this one. Then we can convert in dB also. If you want in dB, we can convert in dB as well. Just taking 20 logarithm of this. This formula is already in dB because power calculation is there, so it's 10 log. All right. Mean absolute error. This is calculated as average of absolute error. This is the error. You see here the average of absolute error is being calculated. So average of absolute error is called as mean absolute error. This is also used to evaluate performance of image enhancement. Next is entropy. Entropy is the measure of disorder or unpredictability of uncertain events, defined as amount of uncertainty. When especially the noise signal, which is random signal, unpredictable signal, and when we want how much information the noise has added in the original signal, entropy gives a good means or ways by which you can calculate the amount of information contributed by the noise. And this is how you can calculate where E is the ensemblage value, right? IX is the amount of information. And then entropy can be calculated by this probability theory also, where probability Pxi is the probability of that particular grayscale value. Probability of the pixel having certain grayscale value is Pxi. And next one is CII. It is called as contrast improvement index. Contrast improvement index. This can be used to compare the result of different contrast enhancement method. We have studied about the contrast image enhancement. Contrast can be improved in spatial as well as in frequency domain. Contrast plays very important role, especially when Our application is visualization based application where we want to visualize something. The difference between the adjacent pixels, the neighboring pixels plays most important role. And this is how you can calculate how much contrast has improved. C progressed or C result divided by process divided by C original. C is the average value of local contrast measured within 3 by 3. You can choose any size or dimension of window. And in that window, in that neighborhood window, you can calculate the contrast improvement index. Contrast to noise ratio with respect to noise, how much contrast improvement has taken place. You can calculate where IA and IB are the signal intensities of two images, A and B where sigma is the standard deviation. So this is a measure of signal intensity between two images. When you are computing the relative signal intensity difference between the two, that too with respect to noise. If more noise is there, the poor visibility will be there. So the noise would be less. This standard deviation that also can come from variance of the noise by random theory concept. And the CNR also needs to be high for good contrast images or images having better contrast. Normalized absolute error, we can apply the normalization and then we can get NAE. Now, if you look at this result, you will find that PSNR 40 dB, CER 30 dB, 20 dB, 10 dB, 0 dB. So look at the result, the same image is enhanced. What is the level of enhancement? We can check with respect to how much PSNR is. PSNR therefore is an indication. It indicates how better is the quality of the image. So as I told you, more is the PSNR, better is the quality. So if you see here 0 dB, you are not able to see anything in the picture. If you go to 10 dB, even nothing is clear. You can see the glasses roughly. 20 dB, slightly better. 30 dB, much better than the previous. And 40 dB, even much better than the previous images. So what we can see here, that better is the PSNR, or more is the PSNR, better is the quality. See, there is one more result. Look at here. Two things we can see in the results. Minimum is MSNR, MSE, maximum is MSSIM. This is also one measure, right? Structural similarity index measure, MSSIM, right? MSE, mean value of SSIM, we can take it becomes MSSIM. So there is a relation between structural similarity and the MSE. Similar relation we can find between PSNR and MSE. MSSIM is more, PSNR will be more. You look at here, this is where there is noise which is present in the signal where MSE is very high. Please understand, lower is the MSE, better is the picture quality. Lower is the MSE, better is PSNR. More is PSNR, better is the picture quality. Better is the picture quality. All right. So you see here MSE is maximum, MSE is minimum. So the best quality is this. And MSE is also inversely proportional to PSNR. So we can also say here that first image is the image where PSNR is highest, and this side the image has lowest PSNR. But one more comparison has been shown here, that is between MSE and MSSIM. More is the SSIM, less is the MSE. So for good quality picture, good quality images, structural similarity index used in specific application is also expected to be high. So this is how we have discussed this lecture as a third part of frequency domain image enhancement. More focus is on application and the metrics. So let's sum up this lecture. This lecture is all about frequency domain image enhancement method. After discussing low pass and high pass filtering in frequency domain, we have discussed the image enhancement method in frequency domain, and we continued discussing with two more: high frequency emphasis and homomorphic filtering. Homomorphic filtering is like the uniform or equalization kind of operation, but the homomorphic filtering is being applied, can be implemented in frequency domain as well. The filter function which we are using to uniformly distribute to get the enhancement, to enhance the image in a homomorphic manner, can be converted in frequency domain as well as image, and we can directly get the product. Inverse Fourier transform will get the filtered image. Homomorphic filtering is mostly used when poor illumination, the illumination of light source is not proper. There homomorphic filtering is suggested. Then we also discussed about high frequency emphasis system method, where it's unlike high pass filter. In high pass filter, we pass high frequency and reject low frequency, whereas in high emphasis, we emphasize high frequency content, but we do not reject low frequency. We maintain some mean value. We maintain some the average value of, we maintain some average value of the low frequency content as well. And then we discussed about an application related to fingerprint matching. In fingerprint matching, if the quality of fingerprint, finger impressions is not good, the fingerprint matching may not produce appropriate matching percentage, matching accuracy, recognition rate, recognition accuracy. In order to improve that, what do we need is using some appropriate pre-processing or image enhancement method so that the image quality is improved. And then when we improve the image quality, fingerprint quality, the feature extraction, which is the most important step in matching process, becomes much easier and efficient. So more appropriate features can be extracted more efficiently, more appropriately, more correctly. When feature extraction is correct, features extracted are appropriate, then the matching, which is based on the appropriate set of features which are stored in the database, results better or performs well. So this is the application, and this is one of the applications. There are numerous applications where when we want to visualize the images for the human visual understanding, or when we want to interpret the images by computer way of understanding, computer vision based understanding. In both the applications, in numerous fields, maybe remote sensing, satellite imaging, aerial imaging, medical imaging, the image enhancement plays most significant role. And especially in computer vision, frequency domain image enhancement is of much significance, where when the features are extracted properly, appropriately, the image understanding becomes easier for the computer, for the machine. And then we have discussed on few metrics on how do we assess the performance of image enhancement. Image quality is improved, but how do we measure? There are a number of parameters like mean square error, PSNR, contrast improvement index, contrast to noise ratio, CNR, CII, PSNR, MSE, which are very popular in order to assess the performance of image enhancement method. PSNR is very popularly used in almost all research and the studies of image enhancement. MSE, PSNR. Better is the PSNR, lesser is the MSE, better is the quality of images. So we also discussed on the metrics, the performance evaluation metrics, to assess the how well the image enhancement is working. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you.